When nothing matters starts to sound reasonable, you're not enlightened, you're emptied. Nihilism creeps in quietly. Projects stall, pleasures blur, days smear into screens. The mind calls it sophistication. The body knows it as drift. Friedrich Nietzsche did not prescribe despair. He demanded creation. If inherited meanings collapse, you do not collapse with them. You forge new ones through will, form, and rhythm. Meaning is not found, it is made. This is a detox you run with your hands. Projects that produce artifacts, promises that shape character, and rituals that braid your hours into a rope you can climb. No speeches, no theories that never touch the ground. You will build momentum on contact. Ship small, keep vows, sanctify time, and watch the world re-enchant because you entered it as a maker instead of a critic. Nihilism rarely announces itself. It leaks. You notice the signatures. Mornings that start with scrolling, afternoons arranged around avoidance, evenings that dissolve into one more episode. The voice in your skull shifts from curiosity to commentary, from wonder to irony. You call it honesty. It is sedation. Nietzsche's warning is sober. When values collapse, the first casualty is the will, the muscle that moves from idea to deed. Detox begins by naming the enemy and narrowing the battlefield. Start with a page and a timer. In 10 minutes, list the 3 clearest leaks. Passive consumption that outpaces creation, promises you don't keep, especially to yourself, and time used without witness or shape. Next to each leak, write the cost in felt life: fog, fatigue, self-contempt. Make the price visible. The will pays attention to loss. Then choose a domain to govern. Meaning appears faster inside constraints than out in the open desert. A domain can be humble. Woodworking on weekends, essays under 800 words, open source bug fixes, film photography, sourdough, calligraphy, a tiny garden on the balcony. Don't wait for destiny. Choose a corner of the world to tend. Ownership is an antidote. Define a beginner's banner for 90 days. Learn enough to ship weekly, improve 1 variable per cycle, and produce artifacts that survive me closing the laptop. Put the banner where your thumb lands first. You are shifting from what is true to what can I make true by noon. Install 3 guardrails immediately. First, a daily creation block, 30 to 90 minutes, scheduled before your first dopamine hit. Second, a 1-screen rule. Keep all making in a single workspace with notifications murdered. Scattering is nihilism's ally. Third, a visible ledger. List each day's artifact or kept promise. Streaks turn mood into momentum. Expect withdrawal. Cynicism will masquerade as intelligence and tell you small projects are beneath you. It is lying. Small projects are scaffolding. You do not defeat emptiness with epiphanies. You defeat it with form. Nietzsche's yes to life does not arrive in a paragraph. It arrives as a practice that outlives your moods. Detox is measured in artifacts and hours, not in thoughts about them. Choose the domain, set the banner, and move. The will wakes when commanded. Beliefs do not birth projects. Projects birth beliefs. When you ship, your nervous system receives proof that life responds to force. Nietzsche's cure for drift is not a slogan. It's a cadence. Replace someday with a pipeline. Ideas, drafts, shipping, review. Make it visible, make it boring, make it weekly. Start with a project size that obeys 2 rules. Finish in 7 days, demonstrate in 7 minutes. The output must be showable without a tour guide. A 2-page zine, a 90-second track, a micro tool, a sketch series of 5, a 1-page landing, a 500-word essay, a shelf you can touch. The constraint isn't punishment, It's ignition. Work that completes fast outruns the gravity of doubt. Build a pipeline board with 4 columns. Backlog, in progress, shipped this week, shipped. Populate backlog with 10 micro projects that excite you and require no permission. On Monday, pull 1 to in progress and 1 to ship this week. By Friday, move 1 to shipped and write a 3-line post-mortem. What made, what learned, what to change next time. These receipts matter. Nihilism hates receipts. Practice the artifact rule daily. No day ends without something you can point at. A loopable riff, a refactor, a finished scene, a rendered thumbnail, a tested recipe. If the day threatens to vanish, shrink the ambition and finish the smallest coherent unit. You are training closure, not chasing grandeur. Use a 2-knob improvement model. Raise quality or raise quantity, never both in the same week. This reduces thrash. When raising quality, keep output constant and refine one variable. Lighting, sentence rhythm, joinery, latency. When raising quantity, ship twice as many smalls without nitpicking. Alternation compounds faster than chaos. Public proof beats private perfection. Post weekly artifacts in a quiet corner. A newsletter, a changelog, a devlog, a gallery. Invite comments as data, not as oxygen. Protect the Friday ship with a no rescue rule. You can drop scope, never the schedule. Nietzsche respected necessity. Treat your calendar as fate. Guard energy with finishing rituals. When you ship, close loops, tag files, archive drafts, jot the lesson, and clean the bench. Order after making is as important as order before. It prevents hangovers that poison the next sprint. Finally, don't confuse projects with brand. Projects are rehearsals for sovereignty. Choose variety early to keep the will elastic, then narrow when a vein of joy and demand appears. If boredom returns, it's a signal. Adjust difficulty, change medium, or tighten time box, not an excuse to relapse into drift. A man who cannot promise is a weather vane. Nietzsche, in praising the sovereign individual, names a human who has bred into himself the right to say, "I will," and make it true. Nihilism erodes this capacity. Time turns into maybe. Detox restores sovereignty by forging vows you can keep and chaining identity to kept word. Define 3 tiers of promise. Tier 1. Daily vows under your total control. Create for 45 minutes. Train. Lights out by 2300. Tier 2. Weekly vows with a clear deliverable. Ship. Friday. Call family Sunday. Publish Wednesday. Tier 3. Season vows that aim at a visible summit. 12 shipped artifacts in 12 weeks. 5 clients served. 1 exhibition. 10,000 words drafted. Each vow must be observable by a stranger with your calendar, not a mind reader of your intentions. Write each promise on a promissory note card. The vow, the minimal unit of completion, the trigger time, and the consequence. Consequences are gentle but real. Miss the daily vow. Donate $20 to a cause you dislike. Break the weekly ship. Cancel weekend streaming. Miss the season milestone. Cut 1 distraction for 30 days. Pain teaches faster than explanation. Install a streak ledger. Each kept vow earns a tick. 3 ticks in a row earn a small reward. Book, tool, afternoon. 1 miss resets the streak. Track publicly if you need heat. Privately if you need pride. Streaks create a flaw beneath your mood. Recruit a single witness. Share your vows with one person who cares more about your sovereignty than your comfort. 10-minute weekly check-ins. Report yes/no on each vow. Share 1 lesson. Set 1 adjustment. No therapy, just governance. Nietzsche wanted hardness in service of creation. Accountability is hardness with a face. Use language as law. Replace try, hope, and if possible, with will, by, and even if. Words sculpt behavior. The body obeys dates and verbs. The mind loves clouds. Be a body. Design even if clauses in advance. I will create 45 minutes even if the day explodes. Micro session before breakfast. I will ship Friday even if scope shrinks. Publish the small. I will train even if travel, hotel circuit. Pre-decisions defeat chaos because you've already decided. When you fail, and you will, repair without drama. Acknowledge precisely, pay the consequence, patch the mechanism, move the session earlier, simplify the tool chain, lower the daily minimum, and resume the next cycle. Lingering self-loathing is a hobby. Detox rejects hobbies that don't ship. Projects move the world outside. Rituals organize the world inside. When hours blur, you feel pointless, not because life is empty, but because time has no shape. Nietzsche's antidote is rhythm, the drum that lets will, craft, and attention march in step. Rituals are not superstition. They are scaffolding for meaning. Design a morning rite that begins before screens. 3 steps, 15 to 30 minutes total. Water and light. Hydrate, open window. Body ignition, push-ups, walk, swings, and mind priming, handwritten page or 10 deliberate breaths. This is not self-care, this is switch on. You exit the rite with a verb already chosen for the day. Install a daily craft hour at the same time, in the same place, with the same opening gesture. Lamp on, playlist on, timer set, phone exiled. Consistency turns mood into a non-factor. You are teaching your nervous system that making is ordinary, not heroic. Add a sunset sweep. 10 minutes to clear space, capture stray tasks, tally the micro wins, and set the first move for tomorrow. Closing ceremonies release the day from your jaw and make sleep honest. Protect 2 weekly seasons. A long walk without earbuds, and a Sabbath block where you abstain from inputs that turn you into a mouth. The walk is for ideas to compost. The Sabbath is for letting value exist without extracting from it. Nietzsche championed affirmation. Rest is how affirmation survives effort. Create small altars to craft, literal or metaphorical. Keep tools sharp, surfaces clear, and symbols present. A print of an artist who refuses cynicism. A phrase that pulls you upright, amor fati. A photo of the best thing you've made. Aesthetic cues are fuel. Beauty resets courage faster than debate. Engineer friction against relapse. Leave guitar on a stand, notebook open, IDE preloaded, clothes laid out. Move vices out of reach. Uninstall, unplug, or bury the apps in a folder named poison. Rituals tilt the floor toward making. Willpower then coasts instead of climbs. Mark thresholds. When you sit, whisper a single sentence to yourself. Today I make. When you finish, whisper. That counts. The mouth tutors the mind. Repetition makes it true. Keep rituals adaptive but stable. Change one element at a time. Hold the schedule while swapping the content. Rigidity breaks under life. Structure bends and returns. The point is fidelity, not fetish. If you make alone forever, you starve on your own cooking. If you talk about making forever, you starve on air. The cure is a circle with standards. Nietzsche distrusted herds that flatten the hire. He also knew that solitude without witnesses can curdle. Build a small commons that feeds momentum and taste. Recruit 3 kinds of companions. A peer builder who ships weekly, a critic who speaks with knives but cares about your ascent, and a younger maker you can lift. Meet bi-weekly, 90 minutes max. Show artifacts only. Ask 1 question each. Leave with 1 change to implement. No life autopsies. Keep it about the work. Host a monthly salon in your kitchen or online. Theme by constraint. 3-minute readings, 5-slide demos, 1-song showcases. Celebrate ship things without awards. Envy dissolves when output is normalized. The room becomes a battery. Institute a gift economy streak. Monthly, make something for one person with no invoice. A tool, a template, a portrait, a poem, a repaired hinge. Gift clears rust from the joints of meaning because it moves value without price. Keep the objects humble, keep the cadence holy. Upgrade taste on purpose. Choose one master per quarter, composer, carpenter, coder, essayist, and study source, not summaries. Recreate one piece in miniature. Taste grows by imitation and divergence, not by takes. Nihilism thrives where taste withers. You kill it by feeding discernment. Run an anti-snark diet for 30 days. No cheap derision, no doom linking, no viral pylons. Speak precisely about what doesn't work in your own output. Speak generously about effort you witness. Irony is the laziest narcotic. Replace it with style, shaping sentences, choices, and spaces until they carry your signature without your name. Design your environment to prefer making. Beautiful tools, a desk that invites sitting, a wall for pinning drafts, a whiteboard for sequences. Remove the chair that encourages slouching, the lighting that makes night creep, the tabs that steal mornings. Meaning is architectural. Publish a quarterly public letter. What you made, what you learned, who you thank. Keep it under one page. Witnesses are not an audience to feed. They are a ledger that steadies you. Nietzsche's affirmation is loudest when spoken by the life around you, because you fed it first. Close part 5 by scheduling your first salon and writing the name of the person who gets next month's gift. Life grows around what you nourish. Cynicism starves where beauty and effort are common. You detox nihilism by acting as if your hours are worth shaping, and then proving it until belief returns. Nietzsche's challenge is simple and brutal. Choose and affirm. Here is a 30-day protocol that turns doctrine into days. Select one domain for your project pipeline. Populate 10 micro-projects. Commit to the Friday ship with a 3-line post-mortem. Protect a daily craft hour on the calendar. Enforce the artifact rule. No day ends empty. Draft 3 promissory notes. 1 daily, 1 weekly, 1 season. Write even if clauses and consequences you'll actually pay. Recruit 1 witness for a 10-minute Sunday check-in. Start the streak ledger. Reward 3 clean days. Reset without drama when you miss. Install your ritual card. Morning rite. Light, body, mind. Craft hour. Time, place, gesture. Sunset sweep, 10 minutes. Long walk, weekly. Sabbath block, inputs off. Laminate it if you must. Rituals are rails. Rails carry trains. Build the circle. Invite 1 peer builder, 1 sharp critic, and 1 junior to a bi-weekly show don't tell. Set the rules and keep them. Schedule your first salon with a constraint that forces brevity. Add the monthly gift economy act to your calendar. Audit environment and diet. Remove 3 frictions to making. Add 3 cues that pull you to the bench. Begin the 30-day anti-snark diet. Replace takes with making. Choose 1 master to study. Recreate 1 piece. Measure weekly with 4 numbers. Artifacts shipped, vows kept, ritual adherence percentage, hours spent in creation versus consumption. Post the numbers on the fridge or desk. Numbers are not soul. They are mirrors. Adjust the smallest lever first. Expect the slump in week 2. Mood will mutiny. Novelty will fade. Hold the cadence anyway. The point of ritual is to carry you when romance leaves. Week 3 brings the first scent of re-enchantment. A stray compliment, a cleaner sentence, a friend asking how you did that. Week 4 brings a stack of proof thick enough to shut the nothing matters voice up for a while. When it returns, you have procedures. Nothing matters until you make something. Projects create evidence, promises create spine, rituals create time. Friedrich Nietzsche does not free you from meaning. He indicts you into creating it. If the old gods no longer command, build a chapel of practice and light it daily. The world re-enchants where your hands meet it with form. If this landed, if it cut closer to your truth than to noise, stay close. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This space is for men reclaiming ground. Like this video and share it to a brother drifting toward emptiness, and subscribe if you're walking this path. Remember who you're becoming and what you refuse to be ruled by.